So here we are for my WrestleMania 33 review. I did tell you guys that I wanted to do something like a review for the show, and that's exactly what I'm going to do right now. I'm going to give you guys my thoughts on the whole show and what I did think and stuff like that. Uh, so I did wake up at 6 a.m. this morning because actually the pre-show did start 5 a.m. my time, but I got to bed like it was around 2, maybe a bit earlier than 2 a.m. And I figured I need at least like 4 hours of sleep before the show, so I kind of figured I'd miss 1 hour of the pre-show and that should be fine. So I woke up exactly when the Battle Royal did start, exactly when Braun Strowman actually came out. And I was happy with that because I wanted to see Braun Strowman win the Battle Royal because I'm a Braun Strowman fan. I really do love what Braun Strowman is doing. You guys know that. So the Battle Royal did start. Strowman and Big Show eliminated people left and right. And then Big Show went out. And then Braun Strowman also got eliminated, which was a huge shock. And it sucks. I mean, they build up Braun Strowman as like the dominant force basically in the last 9 months or whatever on Raw. And now they have him being eliminated in the Jobber Battle Royal. I really did not enjoy it. So then I was like kind of, who's going to win now? So Ziggler was like kind of more outside of the ring than inside. And he did eliminate a bunch of people too. And I was like, probably the stupid idiot in myself was like, are they going to give it to Ziggler maybe? Because, you know, I'm still a huge Dolph Ziggler fan. I always hope he kind of gets that big break, but he always does not. Yeah, Ziggler did not win. And then I thought, man, going to be Harper. That just makes sense. They kind of were building up Luke Harper, and he did not get into that Wyatt match. And he should have been in that one for sure. But Harper got eliminated too, and then it came down to Jinder Mahal and Mojo Rawley. I mean, in a battle royal with guys like Braun Strowman, Dolph Ziggler, Sami Zayn, you are having Mojo Rawley and Jinder Mahal being the final two. Now they did that angle with that guy. I guess he's a sports guy. I don't know, maybe a football player. I have like no clue who the guy is, but I guess he's like sort of famous or whatever. And he's friends with Mojo Rawley. And you know, Vince needed that. Probably some media will cover it, how that guy was there and helped Mojo Rawley to win. And you know, it just shows you that it's so much about like media and stuff as well. Which really sucks because Mojo Rawley did not deserve to win this Battle Royal. There were guys like Sami Zayn in there, Braun Strowman, who you should have given this match to. Of course, he just lost to Reigns at Fastlane. That was his first like really loss. And then you have him lose in the Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal. It just did not make any sense to me. And Mojo Rawley did win with the help of that guy. And I was like really damn pissed. I was like, man, that is a great start to WrestleMania. Whatever. Then actually next we did have Baron Corbin versus Dean Ambrose for the Intercontinental Championship on the pre-show. Man. That was surprising, and I really had the feeling that both Corbin and Ambrose were kind of pissed about being on the pre-show. I don't know, I kind of felt like that way, and the match wasn't really good. It did nothing to me. It was like really not good at all, in my opinion. I really did think Corbin was going to win, but Baron Corbin did not win. He did go for the End of Days, which got then reversed into the Dirty Deeds. Nothing really special at all. I think they should have gotten a stipulation for sure, but they did not, and they were on the pre-show, and it sucked. It wasn't that great. And then the main show started, and they did start the show with Shane McMahon versus AJ Styles, and that was like really surprising. And it was like, man, let's see what's going to happen. Something crazy must go down in this one. But actually, there was nothing too crazy happening here. But it worked. The match was really good. And it was actually I I gotta say this was my favorite match on the whole card. AJ Styles and Shane McMahon in a wrestling match, and they did put up the best match on the show in my opinion. Styles did really well, but Shane, man, Shane did work this match really, really well, and I did not expect that at all. So that was a really nice surprise. They have had like some awesome sequences, the 450 into a Shane submission hold. Then they had like, which then AJ countered again into the Styles clash, which looked pretty brutal. What else did they have? They had that like coast to coast sequences. Of course, the ref got knocked down, and they kind of had their like more hardcore spots in there. And then Shane, in the end, went through the announce table, which was, it looked pretty crazy, but it wasn't like the crazy spot like from last. We kind of did think Shane was going to jump off the stage, or he was going to jump off the ring, above the ring, or stuff like that, but he did not, and it still worked out really well. I think nobody was pissed about this match. And then the finish, shooting star press by Shane, which was cool, and AJ then moved out of the way and hit the phenomenal forearm, and AJ won. That was awesome. I was really, really glad that AJ did win this one, because I felt he had to. So that was a really good start to the show and made me really, really hyped. And then next match on the show was Chris Jericho and Kevin Owens. And this match was really what I expected it to be, and it wasn't really good, I felt. It was like, meh, it was alright, it was like not a bad match at all, but I really was not invested in it at all, and I really didn't care. The finish seemed pretty rushed. It was like the powerbomb on the apron, and then that was kind of it. So I was not really happy about that match. KO went out with the US title. I don't know if Jericho is going to be on Raw. Maybe he will be. But yeah, KO is the new champion, so let's see what he's going to do with the belt. Not a really good match, I felt. I just did not enjoy it at all. Then we had the Raw Women's Championship match. And you guys know, I do hate the Raw Women's division. And this match, that was garbage. Actually, this was the worst match on the show, I would say, because it was just bad. So, the story of the match was kind of exposed turnbuckle that was not exposed. So that was kind of weird to see them trying to pull that off. So most of the eliminations were actually, or two of the eliminations, I think, were with that turnbuckle, that exposed turnbuckle, which actually was not exposed. So that was already pretty weird, and the whole match was worked. Like, it was not good. It was laid out pretty bad, I felt, and the end was like really anticlimactic. It was like an elbow drop, and Charlotte went head first, I think, into that exposed turnbuckle, which was not exposed, and then Bayley hit an elbow drop, and that was it. I really feel Bayley's finishers are so... I wouldn't call them finishers, because that elbow drop, I mean, everyone kind of does an elbow drop from the top rope. Not everyone, but this is like never a finish in these days. I really feel like Bayley's finishers, they are so weak. She did this elbow drop. I don't know if it's like a new finish now of her, but also the belly to belly she usually does, I don't feel like it's a finisher. It's like a move you kind of hit, and it isn't really too impactful, but for hers it's a finisher, so it's kind of weird. I mean, maybe it sounds like, oh, that's kind of funny, the belly to Bayley, ha ha ha, but it's a belly to belly suplex that usually doesn't end a match, and it ends the matches for her. That's something that always bothered me with that. But yeah, that match was plain awful. Send these back to NXT, please. I just don't want to see more of it anymore. Really awful. Then next off, we had the ladder match. So that actually was my favorite moment of the night, because all the teams entered the ring, and then the New Day came out, and they wanted to announce something, and I said that it gotta be the Broken Hardys, right? It gotta be. But you know, they also were kind of like in their ring outfits, so I was like, maybe are they going to introduce themselves into the match? I wasn't really sure. And then in the end, they did announce that there would be a fourth team, and out came the Hardy Boys. And honestly, I gotta say that I did cry a bit about that because it was like really emotional for me. I mean, the Hardys really were my heroes when I started to watch WWE, and I guess it was also the first time I really cried about wrestling. It was like when when Matt Hardy turned on Jeff at the Royal Rumble. I was like, you know, I was still like a young fan. I didn't even know much with storylines, what's going on behind the scenes and stuff. You know, it really crushed me, and I cried and was really sad about it actually. For a very long time. And then, of course, they also left the company in 2009. Jeff Hardy, I still remember that cage match with Punk he had, and after that he had to leave because there was, in storyline wise, it was because he lost the cage match to Punk. But I guess it was something like with the drug stuff that was going on back in the day. But now the Hardys are back, and I'm beyond excited about that one. It was the moment of the night for me. Pretty much, it was the moment of the night. So awesome. So glad they are back. And we definitely gotta get those broken Hardys as Elite Customs done as soon as possible. Probably will be on the channel soon. I hope so. And the match itself, I really did not even pay too much attention to the match because I was like going crazy about the Hardys. And I think I gotta rewatch the show later. Probably not the whole show, but a bunch of it. And what else? The finish was Jeff Hardy did like the crazy swanton again. I guess he kind of missed Sheamus. It kind of looked like he would almost miss Cesaro as well because he was kind of diving and then kind of fell back. I don't even know how to explain it in English because my English sucks. But it looked pretty cool still. I think he didn't hit Sheamus much. Sheamus' ladder also did not break. And then Broken Matt did take the tag team championships, new Raw tag team champions, the Hardy Boys. And I mean, this just means the Raw tag team division is getting better now. This whole division was garbage. It was treated as a joke, and I feel like the Hardys will bring back the prestige to this Raw tag team division. Then Hardys walked out. There was an interview with the Hardys where I was like, man, Matt Hardy was not talking as Broken Matt. But then later on, I found like another interview where he was in the broken character. So a Raw tomorrow should be really interesting to see what's going to happen there, because I really hope they get to keep their broken gimmick. I don't know if you can hear it, but there's like construction going on over there that's pretty annoying right now. But I hope it doesn't get picked up that bad on the audio here. Next match, we had John Cena and Nikki Bella taking on The Miz and Maryse. And this match was awful. It was awful. It was obviously to set up John Cena proposing to Nikki Bella. That's pretty much which all that match was. The build up to it was exciting, was cool, but the match itself was garbage. And I did predict that it wasn't going to be a great match. Cena and Nikki won, and John Cena did propose to Nikki Bella. And I really didn't care too much about it at all. Wasn't a big deal to me. I don't know. Did not enjoy this too much. Then, next off, we had Triple H and Seth Rollins. And Triple H's entrance was fucking awesome. I loved that one. It was so cool. It was pretty much the only like really special WrestleMania entrance on the show. Probably, yeah. And Stephanie looked really good as well. Seth Rollins attire, holy shit, that looked awesome. custom elite figure probably in the works for that one. That just looks so great. I love this attire. Match, I really did enjoy it. It was a really good match. It was probably close to the Shane and AJ match to me, but I still feel like Shane AJ was a bit better than this one. So I did enjoy it a lot. So I did enjoy this match. It was pretty good. And the finish was like, I think like the last 2 minutes especially were really good. Stephanie went through the table, Rollins hit the pedigree. I wish he would have hit the curb stomp, but that did not happen, unfortunately. Still really cool match. He also did pull out the Phoenix Splash again, which was really cool. And yeah, that was kind of that one, I think. Then we had Florida, and I guess what the thing was, we did think it was going to be 4 live performances, but it was like 4 people doing the Flo Rida live performance or whatever. I don't really care about all these music acts and shit. I really don't. And I guess they were all singing together there, the 4 special things that they had going on. I used that as a piss break because I did not care about this at all, obviously. Then next off we had Bray Wyatt versus Randy Orton. Bray Wyatt's entrance was just awesome. I loved it with all the fireflies. Bray Wyatt WrestleMania entrances are special. Randy Orton's was kind of cool too, with like the Viper thing there on the stage. I don't really know how to explain it. But Seth also had that when he like kind of had that fire going to the ring. I think that they used the stage, also the ramp, really well. Bray Wyatt, Randy Orton, this was really weird, I felt. It was better than I expected it to be, but I don't really know if they needed to do that with like the worms and the cockroaches in the ring, because obviously, what did they want to prove with that Bray Wyatt is supernatural? That was like just over the top, I felt. I don't think that needed to happen. But then in the end, Randy Orton did beat Bray Wyatt, and this just absolutely does not make any sense. I thought that storyline was going to establish Bray Wyatt, but now Bray Wyatt did lose again at WrestleMania. You had him lose to John Cena at WrestleMania 30. That storyline to WrestleMania 30 was one of my favorite wrestling storylines of all time, actually. I think that's like really underrated as a storyline, but of course John Cena had to win. Whatever. Then we had WrestleMania 31, where he lost to The Undertaker, which was alright. You know, you can't lose to The Undertaker. It's not a big deal. WrestleMania 32, that embarrassment with The Rock, awful. Awful. I don't even want to remember that. And now WrestleMania 33, they build up that crazy story that was like really cool, I felt. And then Randy Orton just beats Bray Wyatt at WrestleMania. So now Bray Wyatt is 0-3 at WrestleMania. So if you kind of wanted like a new Undertaker sort of character, maybe you build him up with a losing streak at WrestleMania, you know. Maybe you get him up to 0-23, because Bray Wyatt's booking is like awful. It is awful. And I just don't understand why they give Randy the belt now. Doesn't make any sense. Bray Wyatt should have walked out champion, but they decided again to screw Bray Wyatt. Maybe it will make sense in the end. Maybe Bray is going to reunite with the Wyatts on SmackDown, and they're going to take out Orton and get the belt back. If they did that, I wouldn't be as mad, but if that's not the plan, this was absolutely goddamn awful. Lesnar Goldberg was better than I expected. It felt kind of exciting for the 5 minute it went on, because it was just like spear, suplex, spear through the barricade, F5, jackhammer, kick out. You know, it was alright. if this would have been the main event, I would have been pissed because it was not a main event. It should have been like a bit under the main event, in my opinion, and I'm really glad that they did not have that main event. Brock Lesnar walking out Universal Champion, and I think there's some good stuff coming out of this. I know a lot of people don't think that, but I think he's going to maybe even defend the championship on all the pay-per-views. It's probably not going to happen, but he could have some awesome matches, I feel. Finn Balor, Samoa Joe, Braun Strowman. I don't know. In the end, Reigns is going to beat him. I think that is the end goal, as we probably all expect it to be. But yeah, that was pretty much that. It was an alright match. It was, I was not a fan of the whole storyline, but in the end, it was alright what they did here. And then the main event, Undertaker Roman Reigns. The match was not good. It was not a good wrestling match. Undertaker felt like, man, he can't go anymore. And especially also when Roman was punching him and he did pick him up for the last ride, his knees were kind of buckling already. It looked really bad. And he just can't go anymore. And that's really unfortunate because we all probably wish The Undertaker could wrestle forever at WrestleMania, but it's not going to happen. I remember my first WrestleMania. It was the match with Shawn Michaels at WrestleMania 25. That was the first WrestleMania that I did actually watch live, and that is an awesome memory. And at that match, he could still go, but this is not the Undertaker anymore that we used to know. Match, I mean, they did pretty well. Roman obviously did play the heel in it. Because Roman did play the heel, definitely. He was like, when The Undertaker did get in offense, he would roll out of the ring. Then, how he attacked him with the chair and how he was talking to The Undertaker. It was like kind of disrespectful at times, and it was really heel Roman, I felt. It was heel. And a cool spot that they did was that spear through the announce table. I mean, you could see that coming, but it was a cool spot. And then Roman hitting the spears and Undertaker kicking out. And also, they kind of did botch. I think Roman was supposed to hit a tombstone on The Undertaker, but they did botch that, and then they tried it like twice to get it back set up, but they did not get it. And then Roman just kind of hit a Superman punch. So that was a little botch there. And I also felt like the finish, they had like a botch there because Roman was like kind of running in like he was going for the spear. And then he just kind of like hit The Undertaker again, which looked weird. Then he hit him a few times, and then he hit that final spear where he ran the ropes a couple of times, and then it was over. Roman beating The Undertaker. I did not like the match actually because the match wasn't good, but it kind of felt like, I think it felt important. I kind of felt like it told a story of The Undertaker kind of passing the torch to Roman Reigns, which a lot of people are probably pissed about, and I'm not too pissed about it because I'm fine with Roman Reigns. I do not love Roman Reigns, but he is way better than people say he is. His matches are usually good. This match wasn't good, but that's both probably because of The Undertaker, because he was pretty limited on what he could do. And the match with Triple H, they just didn't have chemistry. But if you look at what Reigns has done with guys like AJ Styles and Bray Wyatt, he has great matches. Braun Strowman match was awesome at Fastlane. So Roman Reigns is definitely not bad. But overall, the match wasn't too great, and The Undertaker, in the end, of course, it really looked like he's going to retire right now. And, it just needed to happen, I guess, because he just can't go anymore. I guess he will be in a lot of pain again. And in the end, it's just not really worth it then anymore to do it. I think he kind of felt relief because he was like kind of really breathing in and out when he took his hat off. And he went out, kissed his wife, and walked out into the darkness. And that was pretty much the show. So I did enjoy the show overall. I thought it was really a good WrestleMania. Probably the best since 31. I mean, yeah, 32 was bad. 31 was actually a good one. I don't know if it was better than 31, but it was a good WrestleMania. Way better than I expected it to be. I hope you kind of did enjoy my review. I'm going to be doing more stuff like that in the future, where at 22,000 subscribers, which I really want to thank you guys again for. I thank you guys for watching the review. Let me know what you did think of the show. More videos this week coming for sure, and I'll see you all in the next one.